What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 7 of the Mob Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Okachukwu here. To the left of me, we got
Ja'Had Carter.
To my right of me, we got
Marlowe Wax.
All right, so fellas, we took another loss this weekend. We did not do what we were supposed to do. Obviously, Notre Dame came out, and I personally feel like they won the game. How do you guys feel about it?
I mean, yeah, the score said it like they won, but they definitely came out. I wouldn't say that they wanted it more than us because, every game, we want to win and we want it. But towards the end, they kind of, they just outdid us just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing Hard saying. It was happening. They did it. They played harder. They came out with a W, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And no excuses about it.
Yeah, and that's facts, too, because I think, Coach Babers, he says things like, the better team doesn't win on Saturday. It's the team who plays the best.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that they play better than we did. But obviously, we're not going to let that get us down, stop from what from where we're trying to go and what we got going on. And you saw that throughout the whole game. And I think that's just, again, that's the beauty of the game. So what are some moments for you guys that you guys just remember from the game, up or down,
From just moments that I feel like I just always like to shout out some guys, like people like DeMarcus. He came in there, he scored some touchdowns, and really him and his dog Carlos just both connecting how he always connect in practice.
Yeah.
I like seeing that. It was nothing new. We seen them connect and go out there, score touchdowns and get some yards and get some big catches.
That's facts. And it's so crazy too, just going off of that. I was telling a story to Rhino about Carlos and D-Mark. It's crazy because so before I moved to my new spot now out here, I lived with them in the summer, and I just remember those two would come in and I would be in the facility late night. They'd be throwing to each other, just waiting. So I told D-Mark after the game it was definitely good to see all the work that he's been doing, just paying off, because he's a guy too, right, that came in, older guy. I think he's my year. Obviously he came into a situation with, it was kind of already set, and people don't understand, when you come into situations like that, you have to wait your turn. It's not that you might not be good or you can't play, but sometimes it's just the situation. So it was definitely good to see Carlos and D-Mark just connecting with each other. So what about some moments for you, Hot?
I mean, it was one, sudden change when they had got the ball close to, their end zone, but we made them kick a field goal. So just to go out there and stand on business, that was big for me.
You out there mobbing, like he's saying, standing on business.
Yeah.
It don't matter where, like Coach White said, it don't matter where the offense start the ball at. The main goal is just not letting them in that box.
Yeah, and it's not really a top moment for me, but obviously, our brother G went down, we don't know the situation with him right now, but, just I think for me, seeing him go down, that's another guy on our team that just plays with so much passion and plays like he really loved the game. So I think it was definitely just tough for me seeing, especially on that play, because I had a pick, and I think we were just our momentum changed.
Yeah,
you feel me? That's back-to-back weeks for you. I don't know, man. I don't know what you doing behind the scenes. Keep doing it though. You looking like a magnet right now. What was your mindset for that play? What were you thinking about? Just talk us through what happened.
Just doing my job and seeing looking back at the quarterback and seeing him throw the ball. And just broke to it. Always Coach White always preached run to the ball. Good things gonna happen. Once again, ran to the ball and ball popped up, tip drill. Just caught.
Shout out to them linebackers. Them linebackers had some good drops.
That was good drops.
It was AJ, Cal, and even Dart. They made them throw the ball up.
So, I'm saying though, so are you sending a message with the shades today? Are you? What you trying you know what I'm saying?
Just cool.
He had the 90 yard and the pick. He stayed humble. Are you subconsciously trying
he
to
on that. You remember when LeBron had that little picture of the shades on? He on that type time.
You on that type time right now? That's how you feel? Top 5?
He on that type time.
Top 5. Oh, all right.
He laying back right now.
All right. All right. So, I mean, yeah, man. We all know that we didn't get the win, but, it is what it is. I can't say that we appreciate everybody who's still supporting us and still showing us love, for our team, because we really need it. Obviously, we had the support from each other, and we're going to keep this train rolling. The train is never going to stop. So, it's just a blessing to have this opportunity, because when you think about it, some of our biggest problems is going out and playing a game. That's the issues that we worry about each and every week. So, truly we blessed, So, at the end of the day, we took the loss. We're going to learn from it, and we're going to go back in the pit and do what we're supposed to do. So, obviously, today is Halloween. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't never really been one to.
You ain't celebrated it for real?
Yeah, I didn't go trick or treating.
Is it a reason for that, or you just?
Okay, let me be honest. So, I told y'all last week, I'm Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my parents wasn't going for that. You feel me? We was not going for that. But it's so crazy because I actually snuck out with my brother and some friends, and I got to experience trick or treating at least once in my life.
You can't be putting the bad stuff on the kids listening.
Nah,
bro.
I know. I mean, I was a kid too. You feel? I'm just being honest. It's the Mob Podcast. You feel me? I
Keep it
gotta be
real.
real. You feel me?
You right.
So we decided one Halloween weekend that we wanted to actually go and trick or treat. I wanted to experience it. So me, I ain't had no costume or nothing, but I had 2 big grocery bags, and I was like, I'm gonna just get as much candy as I can. Mm-hmm. But I came back to the crib, both my hands was stuffed with candy, so I was trying to hide it. Mom came in not having it, took all that candy. What's wrong with you, all that? I was tight, man. I was tight hurt, I ain't gonna lie. I lost all my candy because everybody came to school the next day with candy, and I ain't had none. So, what about y'all though? Y'all had Halloween experiences growing up?
Yeah, I grew up. I went out every year Halloween dressing up, going to the mall. That was a big thing for me.
In Baltimore?
In Baltimore. in Baltimore, yeah. So I don't know if that's for y'all, but in the mall they have people lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So kids get to walk the mall, come get their candy and stuff. And when you came back to school that next day, it was a big competition. Who had the best candy, best candy bars, all that. I felt like I was winning a lot. And also we in the teammates we were talking about we got so much candy to last us till December, so that was big for me. But yeah, it was a lot. My mother made sure I didn't eat a lot every night, but I tried to sneak some in my room and all that. But yeah, it was fun good time.
Yeah. What about you? You had any Halloween?
Yeah, I definitely went trick or treating, but it came a point in time where things started getting crazy. With the candy, they didn't know what people was putting in the candy and stuff like that. So, it was this church. We was actually driving, to another neighborhood, and then we seen this little trunk or treat thing at the church.
Yeah, I forgot about
So we stopped there, and it looked a little scary at first, but they had hot chocolate out there. They had hamburgers, hot dogs. I don't eat hot dogs though. But they had hot dogs and
the glizzies. Why you capping? You on the Mob Podcast? You ain't never had no glizzies. You on the Mob jump?
But they just had a lot of candy in their trunks and stuff, and it was just a little vibe out there. So I did that a few times.
Yeah, I forgot about trunk or treat.
No, it's so crazy. Speaking of church, shout out to all my Nigerians. If y'all know, we called our John Hallelujah Night. So you feel me? It's just something that we did. Feel me? Back in DC. So that's just how we celebrated it too. We would just come to church and stuff like that too as well. So just
do y'all still be dressing up?
No.
You don't dress up?
I never.
You be dressing up?
I have.
You should dress up this year?
What was you?
No, not this year, but I have in the past. I mean,
what was you?
The main thing I used to be is just a football player.
Yeah, I was just saying that's crazy. I feel like
go-to.
Everybody did. I was a football player. I threw a little screen mask on.
Y'all would wear gear?
Yeah.
Football helmet?
When you young?
No, not my helmet. I carry my helmet. That'd be my what's the name for my candy?
See, I ain't that smart. I wore my shoulder pads and
was the little bucket jump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wore my shoulder pad. I threw a little scary mask on my face and walk around.
With your shoulder pads.
Oh, y'all just wanted to be great
fun.
players y'all whole life. Y'all just ain't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't knock it, bro.
No, I ain't knocking it. I ain't hating. I'm just saying. I get it though. All right, so I mean, obviously, like we said in the beginning, we didn't get the win, but we still gonna talk about some guys who we feel like stepped up this week. So who you guys feel like stepped up this week when we needed it in the game, and just in certain moments that y'all remember?
I feel like not really a defensive guy. Well, never gonna say that. Defensive guys, we always mopping, but I got to pinpoint one dude, quarterback Carlos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He really stepped in, and it was just it was good to see him, get in there and do, what he had to do. Talking to him he wasn't satisfied with what he did, but like to me, like he did a good job.
100% for him to step in after
for sure.
starting. He started the second half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him starting the second half and make some plays. It was definitely good to see that from him. And I heard the fan base yelling Carlos Del Rio. That was lit for him.
The juice now, huh?
Definitely another transfer coming in, like we talked about D-Mark. Another transfer that came in, just doing what he do.
No, for sure. I think, like you guys said too. Yeah, I think for me, I'm more on the offensive side this week too. Like, I think it's just dope to see D-Mark because I think, you know, a lot of people don't know his story as well. You know, he waited. He was at Florida State. You know, he was at FAU, and you know, he transferred here. And you know, it was just dope to see because he's been, you know, more positive than negative. You know, about his situation, because that's another thing people don't really understand. Like, you have to really stay down and, you know, wait your turn in this game. You know, and then like we said before, it might not even be that you're not good enough. It's just situational. You know, so. It's definitely seeing him. It wasn't even a touchdown he scored. It was the one across the middle. He started talking trash on it. You feel? I'm like, hold on, D-Mark got him off his chest. But you know, that was just definitely dope to see. But
yeah, D-Mark been our guy for everybody know about D-Mark.
Yeah,
so
funny dude too.
Yeah, for real funny dude. I know y'all remember the story though back in fall camp. You know, fall camp get chippy and all that. Him and Ja'Had going there. You know, Hard D-Mark knew, so Hard had to test him out. Hard had to be in his ear, making plays and all that. Him just saying he getting strapped. You know, receivers they divas. They don't like that word. They're saying they getting strapped. So.
It was definitely going at it.
It got a little chippy, but we seen that D-Mark was a dog, so it wasn't really no surprise on Saturday seeing him go out there and kill.
Nah, for sure. And so obviously, you know, we haven't had, you know, somebody on the show in a little while. You know, this guy, you know, he's a cool guy on the team. You know, a lot of people know him.
Another shout out. Yeah, how many tackles he had?
I think he had what?
16.
Sheesh.
Gotta be sick. That's a lot of tackles.
You know what I'm saying? You know, first team All-ACC last year. You know, definitely a team guy, solid dude for sure, man. And you know, it's only right we bring him on, and that's our guy, Michael Jones.
I've never been one of them. Always him. Remember that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Syracuse.
Okay, y'all boys in here, okay.
But yeah, so you know, Michael, man, how you feeling, man? How you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. It's just one of those things. We took an L back to back, and we won 6 in a row. So you can tell a lot of guys on the team they're not used to this because we've been here for 3 years. It's something we used to taking an L, trying to regroup, get back together, and just put things back together. Focusing on the next game, Pitt and stuff like that. But we got a bunch of young guys. They don't know how to like respond from it. And I feel like it's our job to really get on them and just show them like we can bounce back from this. It's nothing new. We don't show people that we can beat good teams all the time, especially teams in the ACC. And this one, for me personally, it's a big one because I haven't won against Pitt since I've been here. It's some versus Pitt, like just like when we play Clemson, when we play BC, Pitt at the top of that list. You know, it's just us one of them teams. Yeah, you got to do that. For real.
So,
all right, man, yeah, and I think it's dope, you know. So, you know, before we get into Kale's story, if y'all remember week 1, you know, we had you know, some fan questions about, you know, who we felt like was top 5 dressed on the team, and you know, see what y'all don't know is Kale gave us a lot of slack for that.
I did.
So you know, you on here today. You feel me? So just defend yourself. Yeah. Like, you know, why you feel like you top 5 dressed on the team. I see you got the Supreme on.
No, hold time out. We want your top 5.
Yeah.
Your top
5.
Because I know you've been thinking about this since way back.
I ain't gonna lie, left it in the past.
And keep it real.
Huh? You said keep it real.
Keep it real.
My top 5. Definitely got to throw Steph in there.
For sure. Linebacker, you know, supporters, bro.
For sure. Who else put it
a little
on?
biased.
D-Mark. Now that we've been we've seen a lot more of him, just going out with him. I'll throw Jay Sims in there, Steve in there.
Okay.
Steve. I'm not going to put myself in it because, feel me, that's speaking for itself. One more person really put it on, like, I give it to AJ or Hod for that 5th spot.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, just diving in back to just
why you skip over his 5? Like
no, I'm just saying, no. I'm saying like I just want to dive into this top 5 situation, like, because you kept saying a statement, put it on, like, what does like put it on mean to you? Like what? Nah, I just need to know.
Nah,
Like,
that's a good question.
yeah,
That's
like
a
what
good
does define that? Cause everybody got their own opinions about putting it on. So.
So some people feel like when you put it on, it got to be designer types of Supreme or something like that. It really don't got to be name brands. Feel me? I grew up shopping at City Trends and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all know about that, but I just know
City
Come on now.
You feel
Come
me?
on now.
No, we ain't
So
got that in the city. I never heard of City Trends.
It's one of them
No,
like,
you know, y'all outskirts. Y'all bought
ain't
them.
never got
Y'all
that.
ain't-
like no Nike, no Adidas, no name brand stuff. You just grabbing stuff that look good together and you putting it on with some black forces, white forces, however y'all do it in your city. But that's my definition of putting it on, putting it together and making it look nice for you.
Okay. All right, yeah. So yeah, now that we got that argument out the way, it's top 5. He had to let him defend himself. That's cool and all. So, but yeah, Kel, obviously, a lot of people, know your football side. They see the emotion you play with each and every week. But just taking it back to high school, like, what was that recruitment process for you before you came to Syracuse, and how did you choose Syracuse?
So my recruitment process, like, it was a blessing from start to beginning. I went to a small school my 9th grade year, and I'm talking about small school probably 2 times the size of this building. And it was just a decision that me and a bunch of my homeboys from my hood, we choose to go to. It was like, it's a small school, we can go out there and get exposure. The school was good, it was good for like getting people exposure, getting people's offers at an early age, and that was the plan. So we went there, we had a bad season. We had a real bad season, but a lot of guys balled. We just didn't put it together yet. So I went there. I dropped my first offer immediately after my freshman year. And I feel like it was one of them things where it happened at the perfect time, because when I first got into high school, I didn't know the process. I didn't know how the offers work. I'm just like, okay, I got a ball. Then I got to get to college from balling. But I didn't know how it went. So you see dudes start getting offers and stuff, and you're like, hold on, like, where my offers at? And we came in early, like we started early. So I got my first offer in January, right after the season, my freshman year. That was Temple. And then I want to say a couple weeks later, I got Clemson. And this was one of them offers, like, not a lot of people get Clemson. They was holding out offers. They wouldn't really give you have to come to a camp or something like that. So when I got that, it really hit me, like, this can go way farther than I ever expected. And I just slowly started getting offers. And a lot of people think you get complacent and stuff like that when you get offers that early. But for me, I just felt like it was one of them things where I never felt like any of it was real until I got on somebody's college campus. So the offers slowly decreased throughout my career, like my high school career, but I only got better. And things wasn't adding up. Like, I got blessed to be ranked top in my class as soon as I got that offer because of that offer. Y'all know
like the politics side of it.
The politics side of it.
The politics side.
I was never too into it. So after a while, I ended up transferring my sophomore year, going to a school on the outskirts of Miami. I went there, balled. I started getting more offers like LSU or Georgia, big schools. And then I never stayed in contact with these schools, so I never really had guidance. Like, I'm the first person to come to college for my family, especially go through a recruiting process. So I never had guidance through this process. And if I look back, I would probably commit it early, but I didn't. I waited for a long time. So after my sophomore year, I transferred to IMG Academy. Crazy experience.
Big IMG, huh?
Yeah, crazy experience. It was like one of them dream experiences, because you just don't think somebody from Miami could even go there. Even though we got a lot of ballers in Miami, I never seen somebody, like me personally, see somebody go there. So when I went there, a lot of people was expecting, like, it was a lot of good and bad on both sides. You had a lot of people saying, like, all right, he gonna go there and not play. He gonna go there and sit. He wasting talent. And then a lot of people was just happy for me. So I had to sit my junior year. It was my first time ever having to sit in my life. I literally started playing since I was 4 years old. I probably started since then. So my junior year, I got offers. I'm here at IMG and I'm not playing, but I'm behind 2 5-stars. So it's like, I know it's not because of what I'm doing. They just got some guys in front of me, so I got to stay down. So that experience that a lot of people experience when they get to college and realize, like, oh, there's good players around me, and I might just have to wait my turn. I got that experience a little bit earlier, and I feel like that was one of the biggest blessings for me. So I got there. I didn't commit to any school until November of my senior year. It came to a point when I was hitting up those big schools. I didn't have guidance in the process, so I didn't realize these spots would get filled up if I don't
Quick,
commit.
yeah. That's facts. That's
Yeah.
facts. That's
And
facts.
then it was like one of them things. I didn't stay in contact with all the coaches or whatever. So when that time came, I only had about 7 offers. It was a couple schools, and Syracuse was one of the biggest ones. And big shout out to Nick Monroe. He was one of those guys who stayed on me throughout the whole process. And I just so grateful for him because from the first time he seen me in my weight room from the school I went to my sophomore year, it was always love. And he just stayed with me. So I hit him up like, what's going on, y'all? Like, y'all still messing with me? 'Cause some of these schools, they act like they ain't really messing with me.
Yeah.
I've only got better. That's what I'm telling myself. And I still had opportunity to go to a big school, but it was like one of those things like, do you want to go to a big school and wait, or do you want to go to
And play.
a school that's not considered big and play early? And I had to make a grown man decision. And I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere. Yeah, man, time. I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm gonna play. So I took one official visit. It was Syracuse. I came here. As you know, I played with Andre Cisco
At
junior
IMG.
year, and I seen it. Like, I just seen how things unfolded for him his freshman year. He got an opportunity to play in Coach's Ward defense. So I'm like, I see me doing that, coming from IMG, just taking that leap of faith, 21 hours away from Miami, Florida, talking about bottom of the map to top of the map. Taking that leap of faith and then coming to my official just like no disrespect to any of the coaches or anything, but the decision was made by me. I talked to God about it. I talked to my mom about it. And it was like, I didn't feel like I was getting recruited. It was just like a decision I had to make.
Yeah,
I
for
felt
sure. Yeah, it's 100.
I felt most comfortable coming here, just experiencing the official with y'all guys. Y'all came, y'all beat Louisville 50-something, 14 in the dome.
Yeah, I remember that. That was my freshman year.
Yeah, they had they had the wave rocking in the dome and stuff like that. We went out just chilling with the guys. And then I think Drake Carter picked that game too, and it was like, it was just the eye opener. And I'm like, this probably the place for me. So I told my mom, but I wasn't sure I was gonna take the rest of my visits. And it just so happened, coaches started getting fired from the other schools and stuff like that. And this the 10-3 season, so I'm like, this is the most stable situation out of all my offers right now. I feel like this is where God telling me to go. So I took that leap of faith and came in.
Sure. It's crazy though, because Kel talking about that. We hosted him when he was in high school. So me and Cisco and them hosted my Kel that weekend.
Little Kel back there.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Like, I'm not trying to sound like no OG or nothing, but like, it's so crazy because like. Like, you should dive into that and explain what that feels like for real.
So basically, like a school can offer you. Sometimes it could be a verbal offer. Sometimes it could be a legit offer. But one thing I realized that you don't have a real offer to go to a school until your senior year, and they send you that official offer letter. And when it came that time, I realized I got 21 offers, but I'm not getting all these official offer letters. So I'm hitting up the coaches, and they telling me situations and stuff like that. And then it's hit me like, hold on. I didn't just work this hard to play myself out this position. I was like, I got to go to somebody's school and go crazy. And that was just one of them things, like, I was getting recruited, but from the outside looking in, it looked like, oh, Kel, good. He had IMG. He got all the offers. He going to go big. But in reality, I'm fighting all types of stuff in the back of my head. Like, I got to go crazy my senior year again. They still not believing me. And it was one of them things where I'm happy it happened that way because I never got comfortable. I just kept going hard because I was always on edge. Like, I got to make it to college. And it was one of them things that just transitioned into college. Like, I never got comfortable here. Freshman year, I stayed down. Sophomore year, I had a great year, but I just never got comfortable.
No, that's 100. That's 100.
So, yeah, I want to dive into, like, back young Kel, like Miami. How that was, because Miami is different from where we from. It's different from the DMV. People say
trees.
Yeah, it's palm trees, high all the time.
Yeah, you ever played GTA?
Place.
That's what it looked like.
I want to say, like, just talk about that a little bit. Like, you growing up back then, how that was.
So Miami really the tale of two cities, man. When you talking to somebody up here, upstate New York, Be like, yeah, I'm from Miami. Like, oh, nice, South Beach. You feel me? Palm trees, downtown, water, beach, jet skis. But I grew up in a different part of Miami. I grew up in Coconut Grove, small town, South Miami. When I was 10 years old, moved to Liberty City, inner city Miami. And it's a real rough place. Like, I was thinking about when y'all was talking about Halloween, I never did trick-or-treating in my neighborhood. It was always one of the things where we dressed up, got in the car, and went to somebody else's neighborhood.
That's facts.
Had
I definitely had to do that.
It was never one of those, and man, it's just it's rough. I can go on for hours about it, but it's a rough place for real. And then another thing about it, it's a lot of ballers in Miami. It's like a hotbed of football. So if you make it out, it's like okay, it's another good baller. But if you make it out and go hard, then you looked at type different. And then I was one of the first dudes to go to IMG from Miami. So that's when people started looking at me a little bit different. But you could tell it wasn't a lot of believers until I got to college.
Okay. You think Florida creates the best football players in the country?
Yeah, not like the best over everything. But we got a lot of ballers, and the numbers. You feel me? The numbers say everything, especially in South Florida. My biggest thing is when we had these conversation arguments about Florida football. Florida's a big state. Texas a big state. Georgia a big state. DMV, y'all like to group each other together. when it's something good, they like to say, yeah, the DMV. When it's something bad, they be like, nah, that's just the V. Together, y'all good. Like, y'all produce a lot of athletes. But the thing is with Florida, our talent is all within those bottom 3 counties. Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County. Just those 3 counties producing crazy NFL talent and crazy talent. And we can, like, leave the rest of the Florida out. And if you look at how Florida built, it's a small part of Florida. So we do got a lot of athletes and like read a lot of good football for sure.
No, that's dope. And I've been to actually. I mean, I took a couple trips out of Miami. Linked up with Kel, and it's definitely a different world over there. Like I remember, I kept like whenever. I don't know if you can remember, but I was out there. I was like, I just feel like I'm in a tropical area.
Yeah,
bro, because I'm from DC, bro. We don't see palm trees and all that. Like, I kept seeing all these tropical vibes, Hawaiian punches, and all that. Like,
when I pulled up too down there. I was saying the same thing. I was like, oh, this feel like a movie. Bro.
Like, it did not feel real.
And we ain't gonna tell about what car he pulled up.
Yeah,
I
know. I was there.
Man, you should have seen them boys. Like everywhere we went. I was only with Lil for a little bit, but you could see him. Like I'm talking to him, and he's just looking up at the skylines and stuff that's going by.
I know
crazy
how it is,
whips.
Miami,
I was type mesmerized. The South Beach. You see the people
good
on the vlogs, everybody going crazy on it. Like it was lit. I'm gonna be back soon. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. But no, that's dope, man. And just talking about like your story from high school going into college, but just to dive into your process when you committed to Syracuse. Everybody sees you a captain now. Everybody knows like your play speaks for itself. But it wasn't easy for you at first. I remember you definitely had a good freshman year, freshman All-American. But transitioning, we had a new coaching staff. Talk a little bit about that because you weren't the guy, going into that spring, and then you had to like work again. So just talk about that a little bit.
So that was one of them moments where what happened to me at IMG came back, and it was like a full loop again. It happened again my sophomore year where I had to prove myself and just get it out the mud all over again where I never got too comfortable. So freshman year, I played a couple games. I think I started 4 games. I did good enough to earn freshman All-American, probably like second, third team, but just my name being on the radar, I was happy about that. But then you got adversity. Adversity always gonna hit. We had a new coaching change. This happened towards the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And we had this was when Coach Whiteman came in, and they came in. They didn't come in until like a week before spring ball. So
this was 2020, right?
2020
spring. Yeah.
2020, right. So they didn't come till the week before spring ball, and like the whole off season. In my head, I'm like, okay. Right now, I feel like I was the most productive linebacker. I was doing the most on the field last year. This is why I build off my freshman year and have a crazy sophomore year. But of course, it didn't go that easy. Right, full of roller coaster ups and downs. It did not go smoothly. So all off season, I'm a 1 on the depth chart. We come like a week before spring ball. Well, I want to say a couple of days before spring ball. They would show us the depth chart, but this time when they showed us the depth chart right before spring ball, out of nowhere, my name just jumped to a 2 on the spot. But the people who was ones on the outside of me, they were still the ones. So I'm like, I'm like,
What's going on?
What's going on,
Yeah.
guys? Hold on now, hold on.
yeah, I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, oh man, I gotta do what I gotta do. Whatever I gotta do, I gotta show these people like I'm really about business. I'm about to go handle business, and like whatever image they had of me, I wanted to make sure they knew exactly who I was, who Michael Anthony Jones was. So COVID hit, crazy situation, COVID hit.
Yeah,
So first day of spring ball, the sure as fact, like as the board said, I was number 2. I ain't had no questions though. Like it was just one of them things where like you just don't ask questions. You just see how it plays out. And it didn't hit me till we really had the first practice, and I didn't go out there with the ones. And I'm like, whoa, what's really going on right now? What's really going on right now?
Yeah.
So we only had 3 practices before we went on spring break, get the helmet practice out the way. But this spring break was different. We went home and never came back to the summer.
Because of COVID.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember what Coach said? That spring ball, he was like, this might be our last practice for the year.
Dang.
We had spring ball. And
So y'all already knew before spring back that y'all might not be coming back.
yeah, so it was we was 3 days in the spring ball, and the night before the third practice, we was all at UV chilling, and the NBA shut down.
Oh, so COVID was
So
already-
everybody was already in our dorms, like we don't know what's going on. Then we had practice the next morning, and at the end of practice, Coach Babers was like, "This might be the last practice for the year. I really don't know."
Damn.
That's when we knew, like, oh, it's something going on.
So we came in at a horrible
Yeah,
horrible
y'all.
time.
I be forgetting that y'all wasn't in college yet.
Yeah, I was. We was in high school, so yeah, same
Y'all were
thing.
y'all was coming in. Y'all
No,
came
I
in
wasn't a
seniors?
senior. I was in postgrad.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was a senior, so yeah, we got sent home too. We was on
Did
high
you-
school.
Nah, I was already done. Like around like springtime, like I was already done.
Oh, so
like,
you was
with-
just-
You
with
done
my
classes?
semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just at home.
Okay. So then you said COVID, and then what happened after that?
So I went home with Miami. Actually, G-Up, Courtney came. They came out of Miami for a little bit. And we chilling there, and then that's when it hit. Like, it really hit. Everybody heads, like, this something serious. We got to take it serious. So G went home. Court went home. And now I'm in Miami with the week's worth of clothes. Having to stay there for the next.
Oh.
Yeah, having to stay there for
'cause
the
you
next.
left everything up Q's.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Think of it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So now I'm there with a week's worth of clothes. No, we not probably going to get paid because everything getting stopped. And so immediately I tell my mom, I'm like, can you give me a job somehow? So I ended up getting a job during this time and everything. So through all this, I'm still a number 2 in the back of my head. And I'm at, mind you, I'm at
really
home.
mad for real.
I'm at home with all the guys, and they like, oh yeah, you freshman All-American, you about to go crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go crazy the whole time. I'm a 2.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah, so this one, me and Star transitioning to Zoom and stuff like that. And right now, we don't even know the defense. We only had 3 practices. So I don't know if y'all remember Coach White. We calling Zooms or whatever. We mean the defense, and this come a point where, say it's like a month into it, probably April. We having Zooms, and he asking questions about what to do in the defense.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was like, so he calling out positions like, cornerback, what you got right here? He'll call the defense, cornerback, what you got? Safety, what you got? D-line, what you got? And he wanted the first team players to say it. So the memes was like 11 o'clock. This right after I get off of work. I took the night shift. Y'all know me. I start late real quick.
Yeah.
So as soon as I'm getting off of work, I got the FedEx shirt on. I'm hopping in the Zoom in the parking lot of the FedEx. And he going, linebackers, what you got? So the left linebacker say something. And then Mike, it was somebody else in front of me for the Mike spot. It was my man's Jeff. Jeff a baller too. Big shout out to Jeff. So before Jeff can even say anything, it's my brother-in-law, but I just spit something like, I say the answer way faster than him just to let him know, like, yeah, I'm on point. Like, I'm supposed to be right here. So I'm spitting out the answer like, he got this, he got man on the running back. And he just looked like, okay, and Jeff. And it was, feel me, I love Coach White. It was one of them things he just didn't know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100. Yeah.
So nothing changed that whole time. We didn't come back to the summertime, and y'all know how that went. We had to work out in all types of small groups and things. Nothing was normal. Nothing was normal with COVID, so we had to work out in small groups. It's the whole summer it was like that. People going out with COVID, having to quarantine or whatever like that. And then I'm thinking like, it's one of them things where he gonna physically come to his senses right before camp, and then I get my spot back. But it did not go like that. So this whole time, half of the year, in the back of my head, I'm like, I am not gonna like play, because college football, like, if you start, you're gonna play a lot. And if you're a backup, you're gonna play, but not as much as a starter.
Especially at your position.
Especially at my position.
Yeah, linebacker. Yeah,
sure.
linebacker. Yeah.
So camp came. It was just one of them situations. I actually had to have a talk with the coach or whatever. Like, that was one of the last things I do, because just me growing up in Miami, just tough skin. I never want to talk. I never want to talk. It was like a pride thing.
I'm gonna get it back.
I'm gonna just show you. I feel like your actions speak way louder than your words. I'm gonna just show you what I can do on the field, and then hopefully I earn my spot. And it came to a point, I'm like, it's like 6 months, I'm still got them, putting them in 2, and I don't even know the reason for real. So I had to holler at Coach White on man-to-man and just ask him. And long story short, he just wanted to say, he just told me he wanted to see a little bit more out of me. So I took that, and I just went harder. This is the first week of camp, I went harder. And sure enough, it's about the second or third week of camp, I earned a starting spot. And then I went on to have one of the craziest seasons I had so far.
Sophomore year,
year.
I think you led linebackers all throughout with the interceptions, right?
Yeah.
2020.
Something like, I think turnovers. I had
turnovers.
like 8 turnovers.
Turnovers.
And just had one of those years.
Yeah.
And then that just shows you, like, just going through adversity, fighting through adversity, keeping a positive mind. A lot of people didn't know, like, I was going through something that was, it's a big part of my life. This is why I came to Syracuse to play early. And I seen that not going as, like, how I planned it. So just fighting that and just fighting through it. Sophomore year came out, and Coach White came to me, and it was a respect thing. He was like, I respect you for everything, for me. Thank you. And it was like a good understanding to where we have never had any problems with each other. And then it just fed off. The sophomore year was the year Lowe and Steph came, and I helped recruit them. Like, these are my guys. Like, I wanted to play with these guys. I knew they would push me always.
That's how I started, the 3 of y'all.
Yeah, I knew they would push me a lot, and I knew they would have an opportunity to come and ball too, which they did. They came and started a couple, started almost all games. Honestly, him and Steph, and then we just built off that. Come back in junior year, first team All ACC. It was just one of them things where I never got comfortable. I just built off that. We built as a unit, and then we just helping each other. We flowing off each other, and then that's when the mob started.
The mob. Yeah. Nah, no cap, man. I think that's dope, man. It just because, seeing all y'all, just I remember when Marlowe and Steph and them boys came in. You still wear that though, like all the success that you have over these last few years. You still think about that, how they, almost didn't really believe in you, because it's easy. Like I think everybody sees that side of the success part, right? But did you have the moments where you was like, dang, like, Are they going, like, is it going to go my way? Like, I don't know if it's still going to be that, because everybody knows it's easy to, like, everybody look at you now and be like, oh, he up now. But they don't really see that part, though. Like, what was those emotions like? Dang, like, are they going to take it from you? Or, like, what was that like for you?
Man, it was tough. But, like I said, I never get too comfortable. I feel like everything go full circle now. I feel like I'm going to have a similar process going through next couple months when it comes to NFL draft. I feel like it's going to be the same. But the best part about it is I'm used to it. Like, I'm used to proving myself, and it's almost a thrill to prove myself. So
nah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's what's up, man. Just to see you keep going, and obviously we all know that your dreams and aspirations go to the next level. Putting yourself in a good position to do that. But talking about the season, so far, like me and you, we all of us up here, we all vocal leaders on the defense. But obviously, Kel, you've been doing that for a long time, like. Where does that energy and that passion come from? Like, is it like a neighborhood thing growing up? Because you're somebody that on the field, like, you always vocal, like, you always playing with energy. I don't know if you media trained, but you know what I'm saying? If y'all watch Cuse football, is Kel doing some type of celly? Like, I don't know if he be timing it up, but I don't know. I don't know who taught you how to do it.
That's him on and off the field, though. We know him. That's Kel. Like, that's just his personality.
You know what I mean? So, like, just where does that come from? Like that passion each and every week to never get comfortable.
I say South Florida football is where it initially started. Like, if you go to South Florida right now, you're gonna see toddlers running around in helmets right now trying to blast each other. Like, it starts so early, and it's in you. Like, it's a lot of energy around it. Saturdays, it's like a big holiday. Everybody go to some party and watch some game. And nobody's sent home. And then it's just built off of that, just playing with dogs all my life, knowing you got to be vocal, knowing how to stand out on the field, and knowing what the team needs. Once you play so much football, so many teams, you understand what a team needs to be good. I've been on good teams. I've been on bad teams. And one thing is big is, like, which is crazy because at Madden, I play Madden a lot. They added it like at the top, at the new Maddens, you'll see momentum and things like say something going good for this team, the momentum will shift that way. The momentum is so big, and I feel like that just comes from energy. And energy within, like we absolutely love the fans, but if we don't got energy within, then it don't mean nothing. They can scream as loud as they want, but if we not on point and we need energy, we don't got energy, then it's not going. And I feel like that's my role, just go out there and play with passion and energy. One of the biggest things, like, I feel like I can't go on the field and not show that because it's a lot of people who don't get this opportunity.
That's 100.
Like I talk about how it's a lot of football players in Florida, South Florida, where I'm coming from. Even my homeboys, like people I grew up with, same house, sleepovers, all that stuff like that, they didn't have this opportunity, whether it was grades, whether it was legal trouble, going to jail, stuff like that. And I even lost people like who was on the same path as me, and that's what I feel like that's one of the biggest things. Like that's one of the biggest things for me, like losing people who was on the same path as you for no reason, for real. So it's one of them things like I never take it for granted. I never take it for granted because I know a lot of people would kill to be in my position. So every day I wake up and I just look at it as a blessing, and then after that it's just like God just played through me for real.
No,
I
that's
can't lie, I
100.
give
Yeah, that's
utmost
real. Yeah, that's
respect
real.
to God. I feel like this gift He gave me, and I'd be crazy if I don't go out there and use it every week.
That's 100. Yeah, man. Your story is definitely dope for sure, man. And we just appreciate you, just coming on the podcast and just opening up, and talking about that. But before we get out of here, we definitely just you talked about top 5. We got that question out the way already.
I don't think Caleb liked that he wasn't in that top.
Nah, it's not.
Hey, 6 man. For sure. Easy. Only look,
I'm coming off the bench, is what you saying? Or you just saying like?
Nah, 6 man, you coming off the bench right after. I give it to you. Only because I've been in like a different city setting with you, and I see you put it on, and I've been out, and they'd be like, "Where you from?" Like you dressing nice, so I done seen it.
Yeah,
Dog
man,
got Stilo.
Keep it real, Cal. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
Always.
I think I'm gonna be real.
I seen my top 5. That's solid.
It's the last time I'm talking about this, but I just think for me, like, I've come to a point in my life where I accept the fact that I'm just, my swagger's a little different, bruh. Like, it's just a little older, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it is.
You buying this,
man.
You buying this?
Yeah, like, I be on man time.
That's what you on though.
You catch me in the city. Look, man. You catch me in the city. You might see me with some silk on. Look,
I like this though. We gotta shout this out right here. Though.
Feel me?
We gotta shout that out.
Long give me one.
Long lives my Dukes, man.
We gotta shout that out right there.
Always,
I like that.
forever and always. That's for my right there. But nah, yeah, man. I respect everybody, opinion and values, feel me? I know how that go. Y'all stuck with me, we putting it on. Just say though.
There's definitely a few other 6 mans I'm forgetting about, but my top 5 I gave, I feel like that's solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Okay. So people just wanted to know, like, obviously, like they don't see how we practice each and every week. So, obviously everybody can answer this question. Who you guys feel like is somebody that on scout team gives us like a great look each and every week and gets us ready for each game?
I got 2 people. Well, it's a lot. The whole scout team, really get us right. But that boy Luke McPhail, quarterback, like he treated like a Super Bowl. Like one practice, the twos was in, like we was watching him. He going up there, get the leg kick, he get the check, and I'm like,
Omaha.
He treated like a Super Bowl. But like Luke and definitely like me playing defensive back, like my boy Dono definitely like give me a great look. So it's like when I'm going against Dono, like when I go against other receivers, like it's not the same, like from like when we go hard at practice, like once you get in the game, like it's like way easier. So definitely those 2, but the whole scout team definitely give us a great look.
Nah, for sure. What about you? Though?
For me, I know Kel probably already got somebody in his head, but I got me and Kel. He might, even all of us, he might get a little annoying to us, but Mario, like.
Oh yeah.
All this year, bro. Like we gotta give it to a little Mario Escobar. He been giving us looks. Like he been running hard every day. It might get a little annoying, but we all know at the end of the day, it's getting us ready for Saturday.
For sure. So yeah, I definitely agree with those guys. Along with Mario, Luke, and boys, I say somebody who be giving a great look lately.
For years
Dan. Dan Villari.
Oh,
he got asked to do something.
Dang.
Yeah, out his
I
body.
forgot
I
about
didn't even
that,
think
bro.
about that. That's 100.
He got asked to do something he never did before, and he come out and get a best look every day. And you
No
can tell he
attitude.
going hard for it. No attitude, no questions. He's gonna give us the best look, along with Nate Wellington. Got to
Yeah.
shout out Full Speed.
Full speed.
Full speed been doing it for some years now,
Yeah.
though.
Doing
it for
Full
some
speed
years.
been
Consistent.
yeah.
Man, I think a guy for me, I'm gonna start with defense, Dolan.
Oh,
Can't not shout out Dolan.
how we forget
man.
Dolan,
Like,
man?
Cause he don't scout versus us.
Yeah, you
yeah,
right,
man.
man.
Feel me? But if you see Dolan at practice every week, the energy, the passion he plays with, that's somebody too. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, shout out to those guys because those guys give all that effort, knowing that they're not really gonna play a lot, right? So I think that's just dope to just see that. And again, like Dolan been doing that for years too.
Yeah.
And they go back to
Almost
remember y'all remember summer workouts that one time he was burning everybody. Y'all remember how he was
Always, that's Mr. Give 100% effort.
Nolan,
100%.
slow down.
Feel me? Like Dolan, I don't know how he do it, but I think too. I play D line, but I think for me, Cruz. You guys know Cruz, old tackle. Every time he see me come out there, every time he see me come out
He's
there,
ready for the challenge.
he go Cruz, no cap. Like every time he see me come out there, he start jumping. He be like, yeah, Caleb.
I like that about
I
him,
like
though.
it though, because
He-
he turned me up.
He
though.
love the challenge.
You
I like that
feel me?
about Cruz.
It turned me
100%.
up.
Nice.
Like he see me get excited.
It's funny you say that. So for probably like the last year now, we had a bet. It rise every time. Every time you get close to even pancaking me, I'll add $10. I'm like, there you pancake me, I give you whatever the bank is. But every practice, after he give me a little bit, he be like, I almost got you. And this is
Yeah,
one of them things
yeah.
where it helps the young guys.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
it helps them get better, and it's helping me.
It definitely pushes me, like, just seeing, because I ain't gonna lie, you have some days in practice, you be like, all right, bro, like, what you on? But once you start jumping, I ain't got no choice. I got like it, because I cannot get got. Like, can't get got out there. Nah, I can't do it. But I think that's dope, man. And, that's, obviously, so, just transitioning into, the close and the ending of this, man. We got Pitt this week. Right now, we 6-2 right now, 6-1 in conference. Just what's y'all approach going into this week? We going right back in the ACC, play another big matchup. They got a good run game, too, so what's y'all mindset going into it?
For me, like the last 2 games that we had, Clemson, and just this past game, like we know it's gonna be physical. So we just gotta beat them up. Like I said last week, and like I always say, like we just gotta come out there and beat them up, do what we do, and the outcome will go how we want it.
What about you, Lo?
I'm ready. I'm ready to get these, like, all the people that's not with us no more. I'm ready, like, to prove them wrong. Like, I'm ready. I feel like everybody on this team, we done. Like, we had 2 back-to-back L's, but I promise we done. Like, we ready to go in and do what we do. Come back with a W. Come back, get that feeling back. 'Cause we haven't had that in 2 weeks, but we ready to get that feeling back.
It shows for sure, like what you saying about, like, these losses definitely show quickly who really with us. And in a way, it's a good thing to see, because when we get this thing back on the right side, y'all can all stay on that side, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Like Lo said, man, proving people wrong while at the same time proving ourselves right.
Yeah.
Like, as football players, we told not to watch the media, but it's hard. We on
Not
our
to.
phones all day, and I'm the type that I take it as constructive criticism. Like,
Oh, yeah.
anything I see, I take it and see how I can make it benefit for myself. And then what I see this week is just a huge opportunity for us to go 1-0 again, and like really stand on business. Like, these last 2 L's, people can say it out loud, but these losses have been lessons for us. We know we need to do as a team to get each other prepared better. And then it's Pitt week. I ain't even gotta say nothing.
Yeah,
it's
it's 100.
already-
It's 100. You definitely see the pressure, like, not pressure, but like the energy around it. We got to come in and handle business, and like, that's just how our team is set up. We got to come in and handle business, and we will. So we're not really worried about that. But I think for me too, like, you guys know, start up front. So I don't really have a choice but to be ready each and every week to go into a game. Know I'm playing a lot of snaps, but again, like, I think for me, like, I remember we were just talking about it in one of our little FCA workshops. Like, when I go on the field, I remember that I'm not by myself. Like I always do. I do a little quick look behind me. I got the mob behind me. You feel me? So that, right then and there, practice, game, it give me that confidence. Like, I know I got my dogs behind me, so I'm about to go hard for them. So I just think, we got another big week coming up, because it's the next game. It's the biggest game because it's the next one, right? So obviously, keep Syracuse Nation, you know, all the real ones out there that's been supporting us, showing us love, keep doing that for us. And, you know, we need it and we really appreciate it, man. And, you know, we hope that y'all just keep riding this train with us, man, so we can get this thing back to where we want it to be. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Week 7 of the Mob Podcast. You know, you got to do a like, comment, and
Oh, yeah,
subscribe.
my fault. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Mob, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.